Russell.
Hey, Lisa.
So you got, last time I talked to you, you were auditioning, and now you're 2 nights away from opening.
Yeah, can't wait.
Just saw the run-through. I was crying half the night. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah, we're hoping to get tears coming out of people's eyes.
Tears of laughter.
Tyler just brings this huge comedy. He's this great comedic actor. And it's funny because I directed him in All My Sons. And in the green room, he was always cutting up, being funny back there. And so when I decided to do the show, he was my first choice to want him to come down and try out for this part. You know, because I thought, God, he'd be perfect for it. He's got the size. He's funny. And then Chris, I really wanted Chris all along too. So I was really hoping that they were going to show up for auditions. What I like about Chris is that he brings this anger to the character that is not typical of Chris. Chris is not an angry guy.
Right.
So he plays the character very well, but he also brings all these different voices to add to the characters. I mean, he does Stewie from Family Guy. He does Peter from Family Guy. And then he does a great Jimmy Stewart in the end.
His Aussie was really
The Aussie
good.
was pretty good too, yes. I mean, all of them, they're all great. And then Ian, I've never worked with before, and I was very pleasantly surprised working with Ian. I'll tell you, he is a very hard worker. He listens to everything that you tell him, and he takes the notes, and he turns it into something that he did. But he also brought a bunch of different characters with voices and stuff like that. So I didn't have a huge turnout for auditions. I had like 7 people total. Well, I needed 6 people for the show, so it was perfect. So the people who showed up were the perfect people for the show.
Yeah.
I couldn't have asked for anybody different.
It works out that way.
Yep. Okay, the whole fruitcake dating game thing. We tried that a couple different ways. It was like the typical game show host. Welcome to the dating game. And it wasn't working. There was something that was missing. So I was sitting here one night watching it. I said, Ian, can you do it in a German accent? So then he started doing it with the German accent, and the whole thing, that was it. It all clicked. And then
so that's not in the script.
You
just made up that's how he.
There's actually a bunch of stuff that we originally added to the script, but we ended up having to cut quite a few things for time. When we first ran it with everything, we were running first act was almost 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as it is, it's an hour and a half.
Wow.
But it's quick. The pacing is really fast. Christmas in Iceland. This was all. This was Tyler. Because I went and I got the Minnesota's Vikings helmet. I got that, but he came out with the Schwarzenegger
Oh God, that
voice.
was funny.
The government waffles! Yummy! Ah, get to the chopper!
And then just popping out. One night we were rehearsing, and it's like, well, where's Tyler? All of a sudden he pops out behind the curtain over there. I'm like, I like that. You got to keep that in. So he started popping out everywhere. And then the Nutcracker. I originally did the show back in 2004, and the Nutcracker, we didn't do it. So we added that to this show, and I think the funniest part of that whole Nutcracker is Chris coming out in the ballerina outfit.
Yeah.
It's just, I was in tears the first time I saw it. Oh gosh, what else? Oh, and the bit during Christmas in Australia, where the alligator gets thrown over, and the crew comes running out. Well, that was Ben's idea. He was sitting out here one night watching. He goes, "Wouldn't it be funny if you threw it over and then he came running out?" Well, that's a great idea.
How many props do you have back there? There's so many things that come in and out.
We've probably got close to 50 props.
Oh wow!
And then if you walk back there and you look at, there's costumes everywhere. There's props everywhere. It's all labeled. But yeah, it's not a lot of room back there, and it is stuffed with props. And it took a long time to get the timing down for that. To make sure that there was a crew member over there to help so and so get dressed. But I tell you, this crew has been fantastic. They have, within a week and a half, they've pulled it together back there.
Tell me about your crew.
The crew, not originally part of the show, but I wanted to have, you know me, I want something different. I always want something different. And one thing, I've worked backstage before, and it's boring. Well, I thought, you know, let's make it worth their while. They're going to come down here every single night with the actors. Let's have them part of the show.
Wait, what? We got spirit, yes we do. We got spirit, how about you? Okay.
So when I was reading the script, I'm going through the script, like, oh, they can come in here. Oh, they can come in there. It's like, oh, they can say this. Or, you know, oh, I can give a voiceover to this character. And then some other stuff, they're starting to throw in.
Now, who are your crew?
The young lady, her name's Amy. The middle height guy is Joran, and then of course the tall guy is Ben. And actually Ben came in later because I only had 2 at first, and then Ben came in. I asked him if he'd do it, and he's like, sure. And then there's this whole pre-show stuff that they do out here that's part of the show, and it's a treat for people who show up at 7 o'clock to see the show.
Love those kind
and
of
they'll
things.
see all that stuff. And then the whole thing with Tyler at the end of Act 1. Originally we had it where we were going to put some whipped cream in his hand and tickle his nose.
I
and
love it.
smack him. And we're like, well, that's going to get all over the stage. It's going to get on his costume. So I said, why don't you just stay out there? Stay out there as long as you can.
I was wondering
Start
if you're going
snoring,
if
you
he was
know.
going to be there the whole intermission.
I was wondering that tonight too.
He might be sometime. What was I just going to ask you? Oh, the TV bit. That was uncanny. Like Joran was on TV. You can. It looked like his head was out there.
Okay, see, I've been able to see it once, but not since I'm up in the booth. I can't see that dead on.
Amazing effect.
So it has a great effect.
Yeah.
That was the idea. Is I found an old TV I had. I took the shell apart, and that's it. And I got 2 lights in it. And I just told myself, just stand there with your face in it.
Yeah.
And it'll give you like that max headroom type of thing.
It was uncanny.
Cool.
Hopefully you'll see a shot of
Cool.
it here. But ooh, that was amazing. And there was another bit I was going to ask you. Oh, the bicycles.
Oh yeah. See, originally in the script, the lights are supposed to come up, and they're supposed to be holding fruitcake, get ready to throw it out at the audience.
Oh, okay.
Well, when we did it the last time, it didn't work. So I thought, I want something completely different here. So that's when I said, originally I was going to have them all on 3 little tricycles. Mm-hmm. And well, it's hard to find 3 little tricycles in this town. So I had the wagon. The wagon was from MASH. I had the wagon. And the first night, he was just coming out with himself. And I thought, you know, and Amy said something, well, I can just pull him out with that thing. I'm like, okay. And then, of course, you know, Tyler on, you know, big guy on this little bike. Yeah. I wanted him to come out here and do this. And then you see Chris come in on the tiny little bike. But yeah, I love that bit. That's one of my favorites.
And the song that at the end, after that, all of that funny, fast timing, millions of lines, then they do that song, which must have taken hours of rehearsal.
We worked on that song quite a bit. Every single night before rehearsals, that was the first thing we did. It was like a warm-up.
Oh, smart.
So we hammered that out, got that done early. They were off book on that probably within the first week. And the music to that, there's sheet music in the script. Mm-hmm. Well, I took that sheet music over to Bill Roos.
Oh, and that's Bill Roos playing?
And originally I thought, if all you can give me is just piano, that's perfect. Well, he added an orchestra to that.
Yeah, he's great about that.
So I was just amazed with what he gave me.
Aw.
So
hey,
happy.
I only have a few minutes of tape left. Do you want to take me on a little tour backstage?
Yeah. See if there's any light on back here. It's not super bright, but see, they got all their hats and stuff. Everything's labeled. You got the hat up there. You got all these things in here. Hats and everything.
How many hats do you have in this show?
Oh God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, probably close to 20 hats. Behind you here.
The wigs.
Get all the wigs. Get all that stuff. The wax lips.
I
Have a
get
bit with
close
that
up
there.
to the wax lips.
For protection. We got our boat in there. We got stuff in there. Come down this way, you got all the costumes. They're on both sides of the walls here. So it's all here. And then, I mean, you got this table. There's Gower's stuff there. I mean, you got still more stuff.
More hats, more wigs.
More hats, wigs, all the frogs.
More horns.
I mean, one bit, and we had all those frogs.
Now, was that your guys, or was that in the script?
It says frogs, but it doesn't say anything about throwing frogs. So that was all me. It's an amazing journey through Christmas. All the stories you ever want to come and see. If you're going to see one Christmas show this year, come and see all of them at Riverfront Playhouse.
I was crying half the night from laughter. My stomach hurts.
Yes.
It'll be great.
Bring tissue.
Merry Christmas, Russell.
Merry Christmas.